The Porsche screeched into my driveway again, like it owned the place. I stepped outside, holding my coffee, staring at the glossy red paint baking in my sun. "Hey!" I yelled. "You're blocking my car again!" A smirk. Sunglasses. A 20-something kid stepped out. "Relax, old man. I'll just be 5 minutes." 5 minutes had turned into an hour, 3 days in a row. His mother, Karen, waved from across the street. "He's just visiting, don't be dramatic." I clenched my jaw. They thought they could walk over me because I looked like the quiet neighbor. But they were about to learn. I'm quiet, not weak. I'd worked 30 years as an engineer before retiring early. This house, my house, was the one thing I'd built with my own hands. Every inch mattered to me. Every inch had meaning. Karen moved in next door last month. Loud, entitled, always complaining about community standards. Her son Ryan, a spoiled brat with a trust fund and a Porsche he didn't earn. At first I tried to be polite. I asked nicely. I even left a note. "Please don't park in my driveway. I need access for work." He crumpled it and tossed it into my bushes. The HOA didn't care. The local cop said it was just a neighborly misunderstanding. By the third day, I couldn't even pull out my truck. I missed an appointment. I felt humiliated, trapped on my own property. That night, I watched his car through my blinds. He revved the engine at 11 p.m. just to annoy me. I knew right then this wasn't a mistake, it was a message. So I decided to send one back. The next morning, the Porsche was back. I smiled. This time, I had a plan. I walked around the car, phone in hand, snapping photos from every angle. Then, I made a call. Not to the cops, but to a friend from my old job. See, before I retired, I worked in civil engineering and land surveying, which meant I knew how to file property encroachment claims. And I knew someone who handled vehicle impound auctions for illegally stored assets. But that wasn't even the best part. I installed a brand new security gate that morning, electronically controlled. Once his Porsche was inside, I could close it remotely. That afternoon, Ryan parked again, smirking, headphones in, music blaring. I waited until he walked away. Then click, I closed the gate. Hours passed. He came running back, yelling from the curb. "Open the gate, old man, that's my car." "On my property," I said calmly. "Trespassing." He called his mom. She stormed over, screaming, "You can't hold his car hostage." "Oh, I can," I said. "According to Section 22658 of the California Vehicle Code, unauthorized vehicles can be towed and held for damages." Karen froze. She didn't know the law. I did. I made another call. 10 minutes later, a tow truck arrived. They loaded that Porsche like it was nothing. Ryan shouted, "You'll pay for this." I smiled. "No, son, you will." 2 days later, I got a letter. Ryan tried to file a complaint, claiming I stole his car. But here's the twist. When the tow company checked the VIN number, they discovered something Karen didn't want anyone to know. The Porsche wasn't registered in Ryan's name. It was registered under his father's business, a business under IRS investigation for tax fraud. The car was seized as evidence. Karen came to my door, pale and shaking. "Please," she begged, "you have to help us get it back." I looked her straight in the eyes. "You should have taught your son respect before you bought him toys." Then I shut the door. A month later, the driveway was finally quiet. No revving engines, no smug smiles, just peace. Karen sold the house 2 weeks later. Rumor was they needed money for legal fees. I poured myself a coffee and watched the empty street. Sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet, clean, and worth every ounce of patience. A few weeks later, a new family moved in. Young couple, polite, 2 kids. The first thing they asked was, "Mind if we park here while unloading?" I grinned. "You can park anywhere you want, as long as you ask first." They laughed. Respect had returned to the neighborhood. As for me, I never bragged, never gloated. But every time I walked past that patch of driveway, I smiled. Because that single spot, the one they disrespected, cost them over $100,000 in fines, fees, and seized assets. Karma, I realized, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just parks quietly, in the wrong driveway. Respect isn't earned with money. It's earned with decency. And when arrogance blocks your path, patience will always clear it.